Hello, everyone. Welcome to my daily card reviews episode number one. So, this is going to be a series where I go through some of my collection and kind of check out some cards I think are more interesting or just kind of fun to talk about, or in this case, I guess, sort of expensive. So, this is Gaia's Cradle, what I would definitely consider the pinnacle of my collection at this moment in time. Very infamous land, very well known in the Magic community to most people, back from the Urza's block with Urza's Saga. Very, very powerful set, had a lot of broken cards in it, a whole cycle of three different lands that did a bunch of really broken things. Gaia's Cradle being one of the most powerful, being that the other two or all three of them are usually banned in a lot of formats because of how broken they are. So Gaia's Cradle here, legendary land, taps to add a green to your mana pool for each creature you control. Very, very, very strong mechanic. Any land in the game that can add more than one mana for any reason is usually pretty strong, and this one is even more so because it is not super consequential to anything. You don't have to, pay extra mana into it. You don't have to have a lot of stuff. You can just have a few creatures out, tap this. You don't need extra mana to tap it or some sort of, sack ability or whatever. It just taps for a bunch of mana. I actually picked up this guy a few years ago at my local game store. Got a bunch of trade credit in. Definitely had to sell most of a trade binder to get it, but a very awesome card to have. Very powerful. I think it's currently sitting in one of my Canlander decks, Canadian Highlanders, because that's a pretty fun format to run. But I do put it in some of my Commander decks, high power stuff from time to time. And really, the most I think controversial part of this card it is a part of the reserve list, which is itself very controversial. It's basically back in the 90s, Wizards of the Coast heard a bunch of fans complaining about all of the reprints they were doing to cards and how it was devaluing them. And, collectors couldn't collect as much and hold value, so they were like, okay, we hear you. We are going to vow to have this list of cards, these specific ones that are high end or more valuable or seemingly in some sort of way. I don't know exactly how they decided to pick them, but we're going to put these cards together and we'll promise we're never going to reprint them. Now, that wasn't always upheld. There have been changes since the early 2000s and some weird little skidding of the rules here and there with like Mox Diamond getting a from the vault printing. But basically, this card has never once been reprinted. It just has this Urza Saga printing and a Judge promo that came out a few years afterwards, which is even rarer, even more expensive. But even disregarding the revised list stuff, I just really love this type of card. The artwork is one of my favorites. Mark Zug did a really good job with this one. And I also just love these older style cards. The retro frame back in the day is just kind of what I grew up on. And so it's sort of nostalgic for me to see this kind of thing. And I just think it looks so beautiful. But yeah, that is the card review for today. And I'll see all of you beautiful people in the next one.